Well, here we go. We managed to stall it for 30 minutes. We're finally going to be getting into the picks and bans. I'm really excited. It's just a bit of a, it's more of a cliffhanger now. We've just been waiting so long. We finally get into the match.
Finally, yeah, we've been going over this. These two teams are gonna have so much more analysis than everyone else will in this tournament. These teams have been picked through in detail for the past half hour. We know everything there is to know about these two teams, and it does seem that both of them might have their full rosters or something close to it for the match here. So we might be looking at probably the most contested match that we possibly could have, at least between these two teams here. On paper, not the most contested match just based on seeding alone, but regardless, definitely should be something that will have some exciting back and forth.
Yeah, I'm praying we don't just see like a quick 5-0 now. Like, I want this one to go the distance at least. I want to see at least a 5-3 or something of the sorts.
Well, let's see what we've got here. We've got our ban order. Since Bob decided to go for the pick order. Of course, for those of you that don't know, we have first and second bans, so we will have the first set of our bans. Between these two teams, they will each have one ban, and then we will play 4 maps, and then we will go through, and we will have our second bans that we do, our fun little format here. So, for those of you wondering why there's only one ban between the two teams here, that is exactly why. So, they're going to be looking for their ban right now. We'll see. They're going to try and decide what they're going for here today. Still not quite ready. We're waiting. They would like us.
I'm just gonna wait a little bit longer. Just
a little longer.
Just a little bit longer. We're almost there.
How do you not have your bans ready? What is happening? How do you not have your bans ready? Yes, we get one set of bans at the beginning. For those of you wondering, this information is all listed off on the website if you needed to check it out and clarify where these rules are coming from, rather, where you can reference this.
Here we go. Bob coming in with their first ban as we now wait ever so patiently on edge here for the first ban of the match.
That was like the longest time. That was the longest time I've ever seen a team take to choose between first or second ban.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like in a lot of tournaments, it's almost like default as to what you want. Like, isn't the second ban not more advantageous? Like, you can see what the other team wants to go for first. I don't understand.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But we're going to get into it now. It's going to be Bob's ban to start off. See what they decide to ban against the two. I don't really know what they would look for in terms of skill sets. I think they're such a varied team that, I personally can't pick out a defined strength within that team in terms of something that they would be guaranteed to go for. So maybe Bob looking at something that maybe so they're less confident on.
Yeah, look, I mean, like you mentioned, they're really strong all round, so it's not really a particular weakness they have, but if they're just going off of the stats, they performed most poorly on Hidden 1 and Hard Rock 2, so that's something we could see come out from them. However, it's actually going to be a Hard Rock 1 ban, which is interesting, considering the 3.1 million score from them on the qualifiers, the 2 coming in with 1.8 million, but perhaps just a map they weren't quite comfortable with. Like you mentioned earlier when we were talking about the pool, when I played through this Hard Rock 1, I completely agree with it. Wasn't your generic kind of no mod 1 style aim map. it was a little bit more techy and a bit weird. So, you know, maybe they're just not feeling consistent on that map. They want to get it out of the way. And as we mentioned, the two going to be looking towards those DT bans, and there it is, DT3 going out for them. That's going to be the speed stamina map.
Yes. Skill issue for banning Hard Rock 1. I had to. You can't ban the banger from the pool and not have me criticize you. I'm sorry. You do not gain favor in this match from the Osu gods. We do have a DT3 ban as well. Again, both teams banning out. Good. Ban something worse, man. Ban a bad song. Ban not exciting stuff. I don't know what's going on here. Bob's gonna have their first pick to go out here. As we mentioned, the two really looking for those speed bans here, so that DT3 definitely makes sense. 254 BPM, and it's a very short map, which leaves you with no room for error. It's going to be the DT1 picks to start off from Bob. Unsurprisingly, they also think that they're a speed team, so they're going to be going for, or rather a double time team, so they're going to go for that DT1 10.3 it is time.
Yeah, this is about as straightforward as your DT1s get, and even more straightforward than usual, I think. This is very, very short, comes in at about 90 seconds or so, and there's not really much to speak of in the map, besides, you know, the map just being a pretty generic DT1, like I mentioned. There's not really any huge diff spiky sections or longer streams that you can sometimes see in those longer DT1 maps. It's just pretty much all-round consistency DT aim, and if you can read 10.3 and you can aim DT, then you can probably FC this map, especially with the, you know, the standards of the players in this tournament.
Oh, absolutely. We've got, finally, again, the time is upon us. After 38 minutes, we are here. We are finally at the first map of this match here. We have DT1. It looks like we've got rosters set pretty quickly for both of these two teams here. We've got Lucrece, Nineric, Keegan, Raikaho versus, I'm just going to say Polska, Ginseng 2, Ypen, and Melver. We have two strong teams in for both sides here. I don't actually know who wins this. I think on how comfortable a team would be in general, I think Bob definitely has an advantage on this, it being their own pick as well. I think that's where they're gonna have their strength. That's Son Goku PL. I don't like name changes. Oh my gosh. I've been going through this whole time and I've been like, oh, there's this new player I've never heard of, and I'm like just now finding out that's Son Goku PL. Okay, yeah, very proficient player, very experienced tournament player. He is very good at not normally DT1. He's normally more of a left-handed player in terms of, you know, stream and flow aim here. So it'll be interesting to see how he does on a DT1 10.3, but wow, took me that long to figure out who that was. Yeah, so one extra player to add to the docket of very experienced tournament players for that too.
Yeah, like I didn't realize that one was a name change either, so also new to me. But hey, yeah, we don't have some new amazing tournament player coming out. This is just going to be Son Goku. So getting into this DT1, this is a very short one. Short and sweet, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of FCs come out.
Yeah, a lot of short maps in this DT pool here, averaging below 2 minutes. It's going to be a miss from Lucrece to start off. Ooh, Melver trades. Right in the middle, it's accuracy lead for Bob, which is very slowly disappearing with the one misses from them everywhere here. Keeg not having too comfortable, despite him being very proficient at the skill set. It's going to be a traded again from the two. Melver not having too good of a time on this. Lucrece is going to have recovered much better off than he will. There goes Ginseng 2 as well. That accuracy lead's going to make this go over to Bob. Much stronger now. Nineric still on that double S. Very impressive.
There was actually a point just before here where the two did have the combo lead, but, you know, that accuracy advantage on Bob just really, like, their score lead was just still so enormous just because of how much, you know, how much more comfortable they look just in general. The accuracy difference is astounding, and we're going to see full resets on the side of the two now, and it's just Raikaho with the remaining FC. Is he going to close this one out? For Bob, they are easily going to be taking their first pick by over 1 million points now.
Yeah, very similar to the difference in their qualifiers, DT1 scores between these two teams. About 1 million score difference between them on that. So this is definitely remaining fairly consistent from what we've seen in trends between these two teams here. Ypan remains on the combo for the 2 until the ending, but there's nothing he can do against Raikaho, having just a much better time than a lot of other people in here. Nineric, I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
That stings.
That is terrible,
sting.
unfortunately. Keeg, I am also terribly sorry. I just looked at that, too. Oh, no.
There's a 1 miss from Keeg and a 150 from Ninarek.
This is what we get.
We are actually going to be seeing Make a Loser. Oh man, this map was so fun to play. I'm excited to see this one. The 2 going to be picking the number 3 as their first pick. This is the alt map for the week. A lot of snap aim in here. A little bit of reading as well. A couple of funny square patterns and such. But all round, if you're comfortable on no mod 3s, this is, pretty cruisy.
Pretty crazy. This map is great. This map is great. Again, it's been tested time and time again. Talked a lot earlier about, using more of those well-known maps throughout these pools. Some stuff that's shown up more than once, more than a dozen times in the case of this map in previous tournaments. And this map is very well regarded as a consistent alt flow aim map here. And I think that both teams are going to be very comfortable on this. Dragbit 3 going to be making an appearance along with Krez for Bob. It's going to be a very similar roster for the 2 here. I think it's the exact same roster for the 2.
Yeah, I believe so. That is going to be the same 4 players coming in for the 2. And seeing a couple new players on the side of Bob, as you mentioned. This is a pretty long one as well. Really, really fun map. As no mod 3s generally go, they're usually pretty hard to FC in tournament matches. I don't know what it is at no mod 3s, but they're pretty hard to FC in tourneys, and especially the maps being so long. I think it's the fact that they're just so consistently difficult the whole way through. It kind of strays away from those, no mod 1 standards or maybe hard rock 1 standards where it's more diff spiky, but this map's just hard the whole way through. It's just the trend in no mod 3s, and as we can see, already going to be catching out 2 players on the side of the 2.
Uncomfortable, not what you want to see on your first pick of the match here. Those early breaks are really not coming up the difficult part of the map. Lucrece as well, finding a bit of a break at the beginning here. Of course, got players like Raikaho and Dragbit and Krez, who are all going to be very consistent at these early players. They mentioned how good Raikaho was, and how underrated he is in the tournament scene, having been around for as long as he has now. He has been the player to hold some of the highest stack on his team, held the only FC on the previous pick, and he's right up here again as well, and one of the highest stacks in this match alongside Krez. Dragbit, very consistent as well. We've seen some insane performances out of him lately, so we're really looking for a strong performance from this team here. We've got no FCs left on the side of the 2, unfortunately, which is just going to skyrocket the score to the other side, regardless of whether or not this pick is almost 4 minutes.
Yeah, we're already approaching halfway here, and we've still got a very, very strong 3-way on the side of Bob. Lucrece, still, he's recovering quite well, whereas, the side of the 2, they're struggling to recover quite as well as Lucrece. We've just had another reset there from Ginseng. So 300 combos on their side, but it's just really nothing in comparison to what Bob are holding on to. This is looking a little bit doomed for them on their first pick, but it's not all done. It's not all over for the match. This one is most likely going to go to the side of Bob.
Very unfortunate. You really do have to win these control picks against Bob here in order to have a chance in this match. If you're the 2, you're really not going to have a good time on the basic mechanic maps in this pool against this team here, especially given, of course, players like Krez, Raikaho, Dragbit. Lucrece has recovered fantastically from his beginning miss here. We've got some good recoveries on the side of the 2 from Son Goku and Ypan. Unfortunately, Melver not having a whole lot of fun with another miss coming out here. Ginseng 2 just a little bit behind as well. Still that 3-way FC, and as long as that 3-way FC stands, there is not a chance in this match for the 2, and there goes Son Goku as well. Now there is absolutely no chance at a recovery here. This is going to potentially be another 1 million plus score lead here. Raikaho is going to find a break, one of the ending patterns here, but it doesn't matter. Krez and Dragbit are doing what they do best. The consistent long-time tournament player is going to go through, put up 2 FCs right up into the ending here. Only 1 pattern to go into the ending left here, and then we are done. That seems to be it right here.
And this was I mean, obviously, Bob just coming through with those really strong 2 FCs there on Krez and Dragbit. Lacrease going to be finding a miss after that huge recovery combo. But the accuracies on the 2, like, were not bad at all. Bob did have 99 plus on 3 of their 4 players, but the 2 were all sitting over 98% for a very long time there. It was not until about 3/4 in the map where I think we saw a chain miss from Melva there just to drop below 98, but you know, they were sitting on pretty high accuracies, which goes to show their comfort on the map. They were definitely comfortable enough to get those big combos, just unfortunately unable to be consistent enough in the match and pull through with the combos, whereas Bob just looking just a bit more comfortable on that one and managed to hold on to those very, very important combos.
Yeah, 1 slider break, 2 slider breaks from Raikaho, unfortunately, a miss there, and then the early break and the late break from Lacrease there. Krez doing what he does best, 5 100s on the Nomad 3. It's exactly what you expect to see from him. Very consistency-based map, a map that very much rewards having that strong flow aim, and ability just to get your cursor in the right spots continuously, you know, without having to stop. And I think that was unfortunate for the 2. Not the performance they were looking for on that map. They were a fairly large score margin on that one. So really going to have to see a big turnaround from the 2 relatively soon here. We're going to be down 3-0 if Bob is able to pick up their own pick here. They're going to go for Nomad 4.
Oh,
They're going to go for Mole. It's the Jazag map.
I'm so glad. I was literally saying, like, I hope we see Nomad 3 and 4, and there it is back to back. It is going to be Vita Crush Mole. This is a sick tech map. Has this been picked frequently in other tournaments? Because I'm not familiar with it. When I played it today, it was actually the first time I'd ever seen the map.
So I don't think this actually has been in many tournaments before. I do know, in fact, that this map was a custom map for NCT, which I believe is Neko's club tournament. Which, as far as I'm concerned, was a regional tournament. It was Italian? Yes, it was. I am right. It is an Italian regional tournament. I believe it was one of the later stage maps in the pool there. And it's a good one. I mean, regardless of where it was made for, this is a Jazag Nomad 4, and if anyone knows his way around this skill set, it is Jazag.
Yeah, a lot of kind of kick slider streams in here, some accelerating streams as well. You've got, you know, your standard high velocity sliders as well, very easy to slider break on. There's like a few sliders in this map specifically, I think around the 2/3 mark. They're just really long sliders, and like if you're sight reading, you're gonna break on them because they've got some pretty awkward slider ticks. So definitely a combo breaker for sure. And an FC destroyer probably on this one. Have to see who's practiced the map. But yeah, I mean, some of these patterns are just super satisfying to play on this one. I hope it's just as fun to watch.
I could see Krez rolling through a pick like this right here, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. A little bit of a roster change for Bob here too. It looks like Heek's going to be coming in for Raikaho on this one. The Lacrease Krez Dragbit combo is going to stay in. And we're going to be seeing an appearance from Ted on the 2 right now. We'll see if that makes any difference in their overall team score here too. Melver, a very strong tech player along with Ypan. Son Goku should be pretty comfortable here as well. Lacrease going to find a very early slider break. Not going to matter too much. We'll see if that trend continues. If you're slider breaking at the beginning on this, you're not going to have too much too comfortable at the ending of the map here. Son Goku is going to trade out the early break there. It's going to stay relatively close in the middle here. Not too much to drop Akon comparatively to the earlier picks, but this is going to get very difficult as 2 players find a break on the 2, and it's already an uphill battle for them with 3 breaks. And now 2 for Bob. Krez going to find a miss as well.
Yeah, and we're already seeing so many of these accelerating streams transitioning into sliders as well. It's, you know, it's very difficult stuff to hold combo through, you know, no matter how early of a pull it is. And as we can see, that is a 4-way reset on the side of Bob. They have no FCs remaining, but neither do the 2. There is a chance here for them to maybe claw things back if they can manage to build up some combos and we see some more breaks from Bob, but they have a lot of work to do with that 160k score gap already.
Wow, massive difference between the 2 teams here, considering there is not a single FC left. It's the first map we've seen none on, and we're past the halfway point in the map now, well past it, and we're going to get into this final Ki section here. See if something can turn around. There is potential. if Bob has a complete meltdown at the ending here compared to the beginning, that the two could make this a rather close pick here, but they're going to have to make a significant improvement in their earlier performance. Melver going to be finding an unfortunate break alongside Ted as well, and I think that opportunity has just closed.
That's not what you want there for the two. Bob holding on strong still with 4 recovering combos, and there goes the third for the two. Krez, though, going to be trading as well alongside Pig, so that's 2 combos to 1 now. Never mind, that is a full reset.
Drag bit on those.
It's just drag bit.
Oh,
and here's the sliders I was talking about. These things, these are ridiculous. Like, if you're FCing especially,
Dragbit?
like, holding on through these is so impressive, and Dragbit is just doing it right now. He's hitting every single one. He's almost there.
No trouble. There's no trouble for him right now. It's
Oh
so
my
easy
God.
for Dragbit. Okay. Did he miss even? Was that a 1 miss? Oh
One
my
miss.
goodness.
Those sliders are ridiculous. It's just super impressive to even combo through that section.
Yeah, that's impressive. And we've talked about just how good Dragbit has been lately, and he's certainly continuing the trend. Top scoring player in the lobby by almost over 150,000 on this one here. So rather strong in terms of performance. The highest score, unfortunately, on the two being YPan, who was just barely above the bottom score of Krez at 439k on Bob. So you really are just seeing a difference in the two teams there in terms of how comfortable they are overall on those top players. Like, this is one of those matches that, regardless of whether or not you can put up 3 and 4-way FCs, is not going to win you, a match in a lot of cases, or you're not going to need 3 or 4 FCs to win a match in a lot of cases in these early stages. But you really do need at least one, I wouldn't consider it a star player, but at least one player who's consistent enough to put up FCs or at least near FCs on some of these maps in these early stages. And unfortunately, the two really just doesn't have a player like that for a lot of these opening picks here in this match. And that's really been their downfall compared to Bob, who has had, generally at least 1 or 2 players that's able to put up that 600k to, near FC score.
Yeah, and I think, like you mentioned, with them, needing that star player to kind of pull home those FCs, I think if they had one on that No Mod 4, like, if someone on their team stepped up and managed to FC that, I think it may have been close to enough, maybe even enough for them to take that point just off 1 FC. It's still a lot to ask, of course, but, the scores all round, the team diff was there, it was present, but most players in the lobby were within about 100k of the players on Bob, except for Dragbit having that, that difference there with the over 600k score. So, yeah, 1 hero performance from the two would have been probably enough for them to take that break point.
Oh, unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be for that one. We'll see if we can, maybe get a bit of a turnaround here. Very surprised to see the No Mod 5 pick coming out from the two. I definitely would have thought this was something that they maybe look towards on, something, at least something else other than speed or stamina-based map here. I definitely think the skill set is more comfortably favored towards Bob, but I guess anything can happen on here. Maybe they realize that they are wanting to take this in a different direction right now, and I guess making that shift when you're down 3-0 is as good of a time as any, but they need to be careful. If Bob takes another pick here, it's a forced match point on their own pick, and that is certainly a situation you don't ever want to touch.
Hey, look, and I could be mistaken on this one, but after playing through the pool earlier today, this did seem like one of the easier maps in the pool. Still a good map for the slot nonetheless, but, towards the second half of the map, there's not really many long streams, just a lot of quints. So it's something we could absolutely see a lot of the players on the two combo through, but I think they're going to need probably multiple FCs, because I think we're going to see probably a few on the side of Bob, and if they can't put up FCs themselves, I think the accuracy difference is probably going to be very noticeable between these two teams.
Oh, absolutely, but we'll see it very quickly here. Lacrice going to find a break multiple times here on this map to trade out the very early break from YPan here. So it's going to be 3 FCs to 3 right now, but with that combo advantage on the side of the two, looking a lot more consistent and comfortable on this pick than they were on some of the other ones. And we'll have to see if that makes a difference in the rest of this map here. But right now, it's going to stay exactly the same.
Well, here's the break here, if I'm not mistaken. Seeing the S ranks, so I'm just assuming. Oh, that actually is a slider. Oh. Yeah, no, 2 FCs to 3, and a slider break from White Panda.
Oh, Ginseng, that is a terrible place to find a break right after that pause section. Well, it is in the hands of Bob at the current status. This comeback for potential still exists, but the score is going to very quickly go over to the side of Bob if we don't see something from them right now. And with the proficient lineup that they have, I don't really know what the chances of that are, and now they have disappeared. Melver really making a turnaround in his performance on this map compared to some of the earlier things, but it doesn't really matter. Just a slightly more consistent pick again for Bob here. It really is the difference between these two teams being able to put up the consistent FCs and just being more comfortable overall on maps like this.
And that accuracy from Melva there, 99.82, is super impressive, but then you look over on Bob and you see 3 players that are either matching and or have higher accuracy, so it's like, what do you really do when you put up such a sick score like that, but the other team just does it threefold? I mean, there's going to be a break from Raiko, so still the 2 FCs on their side, and a huge recovery combo there from Lucrece, but Melva won't have enough in him for this one. White Pan as well with a huge combo, but there's just no time really left for a comeback to happen.
Yeah, double break from the 2 right at the ending here is going to seal the deal if it didn't already. Nineric is unfortunately going to find a little bit of a break. Will drop the FC at the ending, but it does look like Keeg, again, we mentioned just how good he was at these, left-hand favored picks here, and he's going to be more and more useful as the tournament progresses, but making a good showing for himself very early on here. Going to be coming into the ending of this map with the FC potentially. Last couple of seconds right here. Melver and Keeg, will they both grab it into the ending? Going to wind down a little bit here. And Lucrece, again, we mentioned, strong recovery from the beginning. Going to be putting up a very good backing score for his team. Going to be one of the higher performances. The second highest, I believe, just below Keeg on that because of this ending combo here. And Keeg is just not stopping into the ending of this map, achieving a 3.1 million score for his team. Only 3 100s on that map for Keeg, followed by Melver at 6x 100s. 3 100s for Nineric as well. Unfortunate 1 miss.
And the 4 100s from Raiko as well. I mean, the accuracy is really all round was super impressive. We're seeing, 6 scores here under 10 100s. So some very, very impressive accuracies, but, still a difference in that accuracy department, as I did mention earlier. Obviously, Bob just looking slightly a bit more comfortable on that one. But, an easier map in the pool, in my personal opinion. So something that the 2 could have maybe taken the break point on. It was looking promising at one point in that map. Just unfortunately fell apart, and Bob was able to close it out, just having that consistency.
Tragedy. Yeah, honestly, I think that it's just a Nomad 5 that's much more comfortable for a lot of players, and if you're proficient at that BPM, that breakcore style of Nomad 5, with your left hand, that really is going to be something that, you're good at. And I think that with high skill cap players like we have on Bob, you're really looking for something like that. It's going to be Nomad 2 as the ban for Team Bob. Very surprising considering the score gap on Nomad 5 on that one. I guess it is a very different kind of map. You are looking more towards the aim side of things on Nomad 2 compared to Nomad 5, which is definitely more left-hand focused, but still definitely a surprising ban. I thought there would have been maybe something else that they would have looked towards in order, for their second ban here, but the 2 is going to be looking for their next one as well. If I was them, I would just get DT2 out of here right now. I don't know if I would keep or consider anything else in here. It's going to be hidden 2, I guess. All right, I guess they're just the Krez ban. Yeah,
interesting one to take out. I mean, Bob obviously looking extremely strong on qualifiers AR8 8.4, as you mentioned on Goodbye Mr. Jack. And if a team can play that map well, I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to play this Hidden 2 pretty damn easily. So yeah, just going to be taking that one out. Obviously, Bob seeding at number 3 for the hidden two in the qualifiers. The two not doing bad on the air rate themselves with the seeding at number 10. But, you know, just a scary one to go up against some of these players on Bob, especially players like Krez, like you mentioned. But yeah, I'm kind of interested to see them not ban out the DT2. It isn't very stamina intensive or, you know, speed intensive, so maybe something they're comfortable on. It is just very finger control, very finger controlly, and can be easy to combo through if you cheese a lot of these patterns as well. Maybe if you're not comfortable on the finger control. So, you know, there is a potential upset here if we see a few FCs on the side of the two, which is absolutely plausible. We are going to see DT2 come out. Yeah,
great map. Love this one. This is hasn't been used quite as often in tournaments lately, which is disappointing because it's a good map. But it's fast, it's consistent, it's flow aim, it is comfortable AR for a lot of players here. AR 9.7, not going to be giving anyone any trouble on this one. So we are looking for hopefully a contested pick on this. We had that DT3 ban from the 2, and then we had the DT1 pick as the first pick of the match for Bob here. They're going to be bringing it back to DT now. See if they can continue the train of having a big difference on here. Again, short DT pool. This is the longest map in the DT pool, and it's not even 2.5 minutes long. So we are really looking at some very consistent gameplay necessary in order to win this map here. Any miss will completely throw this, given the length here. So both teams are going to have to be careful.
Yeah, a lot of just very intensive finger control map here. A lot of doubles. You know, a very slight misread can cause a very easy break on this type of map. I remember from playing it myself earlier, just misreading, you know, one of the triples as a double or something like that, and finding a miss just because the doubles just kind of littered all throughout. And you'll see that as we get into the map already.
Well, finger control is going to be one of the big points of this map that you're going to need on those doubles here, along with that speed. So you really need to be comfortable with those high BPM patterns on this. Keeg and Melv are going to find the first two breaks, of course. It's going to remain relatively similar here as we go through. Ginseng can find a break, not what the 2 needs. It's been a consistent trend, again, just these early breaks from the 2 and not being able to recover against the FCs from Bob.
Bob are just looking really strong here. They've got 3-way FC, Keeg building a really strong supporting combo at that 99%. Almost all players on Bob over that 99%. And Melva finding a break of his own. Waipan, not much combo to speak of. And Jintang, he's attempting to make a recovery, but it's just Son Goku here with the only FC on the side of the 2. And it's just not going to be near enough unless we see tragedy strike for Bob, really, as we are at the break here, halfway through the map.
Well, there goes Nineric. Unfortunately for him, not going to be putting up another FC for his team today, but it is still the double FC out for Bob right here. It's just Son Goku to try and combat the double FC right now. Keeg is going to find one more break. Melver continuing to struggle on this map, though, unfortunately not able to build up another supporting combo that the 2 needs right now. It's 2 FCs compared to 1, but they do have supporting combo on Ginseng and Waipan. If they're able to hold this to the ending, the score gap could close, but they're going to need another break from Bob, and Waipan is unfortunately going to be the one to find the break. It's going to be Lucrece dropping the FC, though. Raikaho has to hold now, otherwise this is going to be dangerous for them right now. Son Goku going to be matching it, but as we approach the last couple bits of the map and Ginseng finds a break, it is now Son Goku fighting on his own for the 2. I think that is going to be it for them.
And there's the hero performance like we talked about. There it is for the 2. It isn't Son Goku. It's Son Goku. Son Goku coming in for the FC on the 2. Well, hopefully if he can close it out. Raikaho, though, as well, with a matching hero performance on the side of Bob. He does find a break right at the end. Son Goku as well. No FCs. Both players breaking right at the very end of the map, but that is going to be a GG, and, you know, still about a 700k score lead there for Bob as they take out that last map of the match. 5-0 against the 2, and that is going to be a GG.
Very unfortunate for the 2, just not able to put up the performances that they needed to in order to have the best chance in this match here. A lot of unfortunate breaks and just a better overall performance from Bob going to be giving them force that 5-0 lead here. We have our winners of this match and a very broken map background. But congratulations to Bob